can build different user segments so you can analyze those user segments in every one of the reports available in GA4. So let's jump in. What you're going to do, you're going to go straight to the left sidebar as normal. You're going to click on admin, and this is where we're going to start building our audiences. You are also able to build audiences in the exploration tool, but this is essentially the quickest and most direct way to do it. We're going to scroll down to data display, and we're going to scroll down again to click on audiences. And when I do that, I'm going to see all the audiences that are already created. Now, most of these audiences are created automatically, but you can create any subset of audiences, any specificity of audiences that you'd like in any way. So I'm going to build the most basic two audiences which I like to analyze, and probably still the most valuable two audiences which are important to analyze for every website, whether it be an e-commerce site or other. So we're going to click on new audience. We're then going to say create a custom audience, and let's just go back one step. I can choose some of my templates. So I can choose one of the pre-made audiences, whether it be demographics, acquisition, technology, and so on. Or I can choose some of the common used ones, which are really powerful for e-commerce. So I can analyze all reports looking at only purchases. I can analyze all reports looking only at non-purchases, and so on and so on. But today we're going to build the two new audiences, or the two audiences we're going to build are new users and returning users. So let's click create a custom audience. And we're going to call this custom audience returning users. Now, in order to build this audience, pretty simple. All we do is we type in returning, see, let's spell it correctly, returning, and it's going to be found under the dimensions user, and I'm going to see the name is new versus returning. So I'm going to click on it. And when I create it, it's going to say I have two options. I can either choose new or returning. So in this case, I'm obviously going to choose returning. I'm going to click apply, and it's going to show me the size of this returning audience. So I can see 15% of users, or almost 16% of users, are returning users, and an actual number is 591. Now, I can extend the membership duration, meaning that I can look at users over a 60-day period rather than a 30-day period, but as a default, I'm going to just leave it as 30 days. Once I've built this audience, I'm going to click save over here, and that's going to build my returning users audience. Next audience I'm going to build so that I can compare directly against is my new audience set. So very similarly, I'm going to click on new audience, just like I did there. I'm going to say create a custom audience. I'm going to say new users. I'm going to then give it a condition. So let's say new. I'm going to click on that. In this case, I'm going to tick new, or click new rather than returning. And I'm going to click apply. And I'm going to see the remaining number of users. 96% of the users are new users, and that's 3.6K. I'm going to click save. And now those are my audiences built that I can use across any of the reports. And I'm going to show you how to use it on a random report. And obviously this applies for every report that you want to analyze. Now, an incredibly important thing to note is that although it shows me how big those audiences are, they are a 30-day look back. And I can only use audiences from the moment forward that I've created it. So I can see the two different audience names that I've created here, and I can see it showing me there are less than 10 users because I've just created them. So I can't actually access these audiences until it's now rebuilt. So I need to give it time to rebuild. And that's why whenever you open a new GA4 account, the sooner you can build important audiences, the better, because that's the sooner you're going to be able to use them and compare against them. Now I'm going to show you how you can use this or apply this against any report that you want to. Let's jump into some of the reports. Well, again, click on reports. I'm going to see all the different reports that I can analyze. Let's click on a random report just to show you how to use it. And I'm going to click on engagement, and we're going to click on conversions. And what we want to do in this case, we want to analyze the difference of conversions of new users versus returning users. So what we're going to do, before I scroll down, I can see all users is the default that's automatically tagged. And what we're going to do, we're going to add a filter so that it only analyzes one of those subsets of users. So not all users, we're going to choose new or returning. So let's just choose returning as a starting point. We're going to click add filter. We're going to click select dimension. We're going to scroll right to the bottom. And under user, there's a thing called user audience name. We're then going to click on match type. We can click exactly matches. And now it's going to give me my list of audiences that I can select. I'm going to scroll down, and here's my list of audiences that I can use. And I can see all the pre-built ones that already existed before I started building. I'm going to scroll down right to the bottom, and I'm going to find, let's say, one of the new ones I built. So let's say new users. And I'm going to click save. Let's just apply. And now I can analyze my data with only new users. And I can see that's the default filter here. Now, in this particular report, I'm seeing no data. I'm going to see the same if I add returning data because I've just built these audiences. But over time, once it's collected enough data, this is going to give me a full view in terms of my conversions purely for new users versus returning users. And again, any report I want to apply this to, I can do so in the same fashion. If there's any questions, please leave so below, and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks so much.